Fallout is one of those games where melee damage is cracked. Combined with the nothing personal kid build, you can take out any foe from any distance with ease. But can you do this in Frost? Can you beat Fallout Frost with only melee? Besides only using melee, we'll also be exploring the Malden questline, as it's one of the few storylines left, and since they use crowd tactics with hard-hitting weapons, this should be intense. So to make sure we fit the part, we'll also be diving into insanity, so without further ado, let's find out what secrets Malden is trying to hide. Starting in Frost is always a cheery endeavor. You make your beautiful character and then watch what happens when you remove their skin. Oh look, my guests! Now able to pick my stats, I go with the tried and true melee build. 9 in strength for rooted, 9 in agility for blitz, and everything else in endurance for as much health as I can get. Because it doesn't matter how much damage you can do if you can't get close enough to use it. Now, normally I would pick one of these fine doors to begin the playthrough with, but because you have to be insane to try Frost with melee only, I figured we would go with something a bit more spicy. A random start. But when the whole world turns gray and my character is given the starting gift of blindness, it was only a matter of time before I had to reload and try again, which surprisingly just put us in the canonical starting point. After gathering some supplies and heading into the tunnels, I figured I'd go harass some ghouls, to which they never stood a chance. But hey, new weapon and new armor! But where I just received some new kicks and a slightly larger pipe, I crept into Skull Eye Station searching for yet more goodies. Only to get reminded that group fights will usually end with me being sent back to my last sleeping spot. And knowing how the Malden men play, this is gonna happen a lot. So, what does one do when they lose a fight? That's right, you go right back and try again. But with Frost, going back usually ends up with everyone having gone on vacation. I'm not sure why the 4 people here decided to just up and leave, but considering some bipedal piece of bacon was wandering around, I wouldn't want to stay here either. Pressing onward, I showed a group of ghouls a good time and ended up making it into the Old North Church. Thankfully, because of the armor I had looted, ghouls couldn't quite hurt me, which gave me the edge in these early fights, leveling me up to level 2 and taking Blitz for my perk. There wasn't much in the way of anything useful here in the Old North Church besides easy ghoul kills for experience, so I headed outside to fail at parkour and somehow survive the fall. However, I knew where I was. In Frost, getting lost is one of the easiest ways to be sent back to your last sleep station, but I was near Valentine Station, one of the metro stations that leads downtown. Not only is it a hub of quests and familiar characters, but it also has a ton of free beds, and I needed to save. So in I went, except the Alliance had gotten here first. They were fed up with the nuclear winter and decided to make the station a bit more cozy, if you will. But besides someone's chestnuts being roasted in the lobby, I found that the door I needed to go through was locked, so I did what anyone would do in this situation. I relieved the Alliance member of guard duty, and as kind as I was, there was no key to be found. I checked everybody, and it looked like downtown was just out of the option for this run. Oh well, I know where I'll always have a home. Heading back to the surface, I used the ghoul passive ability of turning into a boat and swam along the coasts, all the way to the Crater Temple. This is a settlement of Themis cultists who believe exposing yourself to high dosages of radiation is the only way to let go. So by picking a ghoul, they think you're one of the coolest people around and let you do whatever you want. For as kind as these homies were though, they had to keep up appearances of hating everything that they didn't understand. So despite my best efforts to communicate, I didn't get a whole lot to work with. But considering insanity needed a few sacrifices to join the dark side, I figured this would be the best place to begin my descent into madness. But how was I supposed to know that the kid would have had hands? Leaving my new friends in search of adventure, I headed over to Dunwick Borers, but I think I got this and the quarry near Sanctuary mixed up. But seeing as the Malden men swarmed this place, I figured this was the perfect place to start trying to figure out their questline. But when I tried to learn their ways, I got turned into their next meal. I tried using vats, dead. I tried luring them into a bear, that didn't work either. I lured them into more cultists, and yeah, they got cut down. Only for them to eventually take themselves out on a landmine. At least it wasn't me this time. Oh, fuck off! After many more attempts, I did get the Malden men to chase me down to the Crater Temple, and somehow the cultists did defeat the cannibals, allowing me to grab their armor and finally drop a save. It may not be a ton of progress, but progress was in fact made. Alright, now that I had some protection and the guards were cleared, I made it back to Dunwich Boars. But besides one random homie chilling in a shack, the rest of the Malden men wanted nothing to do with me. I don't know if it's the gear I'm wearing, I don't know if they think I soloed the rest of their friends, but yeah, even while stabbing them, they just didn't fight back. So how could I possibly mess this up? How about getting surrounded in a shack and show just how good at blocking I was? Yep, it went straight through my weapon. I died here quite a bit, but a strategy had formed. Run to this guy, kindly take his machete from his cold dead hands, and then proceed to chop up his friends, all while being pegged with stun grenades, and living out my future as a pincushion. After many more deaths, I learned that if I could just kill the last few cannibals and not get smacked by the power armor wearers, I could make it inside the quarry, and luckily a bed was right inside the entrance. Now it was time to figure out why the Malden men were so keen on this area. Besides the abundance of cannibals running around, normally this place has a reputation for being the base of the H.P. Lovecraft fan club. And to my surprise, when I took down Banu here and read through his journal, he retold his past events of an elder god. It turns out the Malden men were sacrificing randos to please the gods in order to free Malden from something called the Angel. Now, I don't know what the Angel is, but in every playthrough of Frost, it had been heavily implied to be a major player. So hearing it mentioned here meant more than likely by following this questline we'd run into it eventually. But while I was theorizing potential spooky encounters, it turns out that this elder god had a particular taste, and since sacrificing the random people captured didn't seem to do anything, the next leap of logic was that if the unwilling, unworthy sacrifices were a bust, maybe it was time to sacrifice the willing instead. Talk about letting go. I continued through the quarry, but now I was starting to trip and see glimpses into the past rituals that transpired here. But besides ghouls, there wasn't anything major to report on. Look, they even closed up the community swimming pool. Oh well, I guess Krimva's tooth isn't in Frost. But while I was down here, I did hit level 5. So now I had Rooted, Blitz, Strong Back for more carry weight, and we'll save the last one until I figure out what I need the most. So with the quarry cleared out, I figured if the area of Malden was under the occupation from an angel, it was time to head to that side of town and see what exactly the Malden men were so afraid of. Alright, time to head out, and while I'm still low level, being able to take down a dude in power armor with a machete gave me a newfound confidence. I also found a new way to hide my face. The ghoul mask makes a return. After donning a rejected Slipknot mask, I got to hang out with the homies at the slog. Well, they went about their daily routines of trying to figure out how to get out of the pool. But after breaking the news to the homies that I wasn't into influencer skincare routines, they all turned on me and I had to lay down the law. Now, with another save point, I headed towards Malden, but not without being hunted by more ghouls, and then shown how hostile robots can be. But don't worry, they may seem mean here, but trust me, they're just misunderstood. Moving forward, I came upon something called the Hunting Ground, but what caught my eye was the Circle of Bones. Yeah, there were some ghouls here, but we don't really care about them. I ran around trying to figure out if this was anything more than just an empty stretch of land, but besides a note just saying Ithaca, I had nothing to go off of. Except for the fact that Ithaca is also a reoccurring character in these Frost playthroughs, but much like the Angel, I had never seen them. The plot thickens. But the plot won't go anywhere if I keep stepping on mines! The plot also won't thicken if I don't come up with a game plan for Malden. This entire area is swarming with hangry cannibals, and I'm looking dummy thick right now. So would you be surprised if I said running headfirst in the area sent me packing more than once? Alright then, it's time to get crafty. And by crafty, I mean incredibly lucky. I decided to head towards the massive sinkhole in town since radiation doesn't do anything to us. We might as well. But where I was expecting an empty hole in the ground, the Deathclaw that lived there had other ideas. However, instead of dying, I managed to escape and the nearby ruckus attracted the Malden men to investigate, meaning the Deathclaw was finally receiving that year's supply of meals on wheels. With the Deathclaw satisfied for now, I decided to sleep for the night to save all that carnage. But when one of your meals just walks away, I would chase it down too. Now, here I was, trapped in a greenhouse with an angry Deathclaw circling. To be honest, I deserve this. I showed the Deathclaw kindness and now wanted to thank me by granting me a reserved spot in its stomach. But after outrunning it back to base, I managed to sleep off the terror, becoming a Deathclaw snack. Returning to Malden, not enough of these hoes had died during the Great Buffet of 86, and now I was still trying to navigate the town, without getting slapped up. But a sign would show itself. A robot was touring Malden. Now, I'm not gonna go fight that. I'm gonna go into the MedTech research build for a second. But you wanna know who would fight that robot? The Malden men themselves. I don't know what happened here as the robot was needing some maintenance, but screw that. Look at this. Look how many people it took out. If this doesn't make walking the nearby town safe, I don't know what will. Practically everyone here is dead. While exploring, I found the Malden Line Metro, but first we would need a key of hunger to get in. However, it doesn't matter what I was looking for, due to a Maldenman that decided to be special and forego the melee lifestyle by picking up a plasma flamer. He must be the chef for the cannibals. Now, the problem is, since I was trying to get into the Medford Memorial Hospital, the run back was proving quite dangerous. So in an effort to get a closer save, I got mauled to death right after taking out the human inhabitants at a nearby spot. Thankfully, another try would cement a closer save. Although, a closer save means nothing if the local chef is still on my case. Alright, if I'm not crazy enough to hang with the cannibals, I'd have to go get a straight injection of insanity. And how do you do that exactly? Well, you give the lovely folks over at the Crater Temple an up-close and personal... Oh, this is gonna be a bit tougher than I thought. The goal here was to plunge my sanity to insanity. Besides a cool thing to write on my next resume, it gives us a melee damage increase and some other benefits like running faster. But what I thought would be an easy slaughtering of defenseless people to allow my skills to be on par with that of the Malden men, this turned into not only not going insane by destroying all of the temple, but then venturing into Salem to say hi and bye to more cultists, sending my sanity spiraling out of control like a woman leading a town on a conga line that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. But at least I know this sledgehammer will do pretty good against most enemies, as long as they don't throw Molotovs at me. Upon walking back to Malden, I ran across Bob. Bob wasn't kicking anymore, but his beautiful thoughts of the day were such an uplifting inspiration to us all. And with that inspiration, I went to take on the Malden men once again, and while the outside was fine around the hospital, dealing with the nonsense that was their stun grenades inside was another story. After finally getting a foothold inside, it was business as usual as I got chopped up before relearning the art of blocking. This allowed me to sweep the entirety of the Medford Memorial Hospital and even find that key of hunger that I needed for the Malden Center Metro outside. But if I was getting swarmed inside the hospital, surely that Metro would be 10 times worse, right? Well, surprisingly, no. In fact, most of the Metro is empty. But this made it all more terrifying to navigate because for some reason, I was under the assumption that something would be hiding. But as I walked around and searched for yet another key to progress, I still didn't find anyone. Oh, except for these journals recounting that 2 members of this Metro had run into something they referred to as Ithaca or the Windwalker. But in trying to track it down, all they found was the feeding grounds nearby, and now one of them had gone back to hunt it. Yeah, that can't be good. But considering Ithaca is being mentioned a lot, I can only assume that we're onto something here. Finally finding the key to continue, I found a spooky elevator heading down, and another journal entry. Apparently, Ithaca had been had. It had been trapped in the sinkhole just outside. You know, the same sinkhole that I had ventured into where I didn't find it. Oh, here we go. Yep, it looks like it actually escaped and treated itself to an all-you-can-eat buffet inside the Metro. Oh, that's why the station is empty. Oh, wait, does that mean it's still here? Well, that can't be good. I continued deep into the station, and to be honest, this entire area was really doing a great job at setting the mood, considering some spooky monster was running around and the only thing guiding me were dim lights. Or the noises of this one lone person down here. Imagine surviving a monster attack just to get smacked up by a psychopath. I arrived at a spooky shaft, and next to it was a warning saying I needed to take shelter below. So using my best parkour skills, I gently hopped down, only to kick in the door on one unsuspecting victim and claim a new save for myself. Making it to the lowest level, I ran into some bouncers who quickly bounced out of my way, leaving me alone in a room with an altar, and oh, would you look at that? That's where you wins. And honestly, the Pale Horse is a much cooler name. But where was Ithaca? Had it not gone down here yet? Oh yeah, it's definitely here. Checking the surrounding area, all I found were some ghouls locked away in some kind of maze-like setup, filled with caltrops and other traps. Not wanting to let the ghouls cause me grief for later, I tucked them all into bed and continued the search. Still coming up with nothing, I found some cool graffiti and then what looked like some disturbance on the ground. Only for Ithaca itself to pop out. So in the most calmest sense, I popped every chem and every type of healing I could out of fear for what this thing could do, and went to smashing its skull in. Only for it to run away? Oh, okay. I figured it would just come back, but it never did. Even the battle music ended. What the hell was that? Scouting the room, I found another journal saying that Ithaca had let go and succumbed to this primal terror, and honestly, if that's the case, why can't I do that? Do you know how sick that would be? But as sick as that was, I found Ithaca waiting for me, allowing me to properly analyze it, just long enough to smack it with my hammer, only for it to run away again. The chase was on. Or it would have been if it could have made it through this door frame. I guess those few hits and VATS must have given the poor thing brain damage. Well, homie, you tried, and that's all I could have asked from you. I grabbed a key off its body and headed topside, or back into the sewers from the beginning of the game, which led back to the Old North Church, meaning now all I had to do was end the game. It may seem short, but with finding out about the Malden men's sacrifices to drive away the angel, only to have their prayers answered by little old me, the entire town had basically been eradicated. No more Malden men in that area would ever eat another wandering traveler, and the angel, aka Ithaca, had been smashed to pieces. The only thing left with that questline, as is the same with every other questline in Frost, was to let go. Meaning I would need to swim all the way out to the FMS Columbia to pick up my keys and begin the ending sequence. Or I could make a pit stop. Let's try and visit Nuka World. On the way, I got vibe checked, to which I had to show that I wasn't meant to be trifled with. Traveled all through the night to reach the transit center. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't think these so-called redeemers were very happy to see me. Well, since Nuka World is closed and I'm in the area, let's stop by Sanctuary and pick up a friend for the end of the world. Look, he already fits in. Now, because I'm a smooth brain, I actually corrupted this last stream video file, so I'll be using the stream footage instead. But don't worry, insanity had more than already seeped into my IRL thought process. Take Abernathy Farm, for example. We may not be able to save Billy, and I'll go show you why in 2 seconds. Alright, come on, Vault-Tec Rep, we got work to do. So, the reason we may not be able to get Billy is because Billy's right here. Dun dun dun! Homie ain't coming home for Christmas. Oh, oh, hello! Woo! You want to try? You can try if you want to. Oh, are you having second guesses now? Yeah, I would be too. Your homie just got split in fucking half. Okay. Woo! Come on, Vault-Tec Rep Man. Do it. Snipe him. Snipe him. You totally got him. Maybe. Okay, never mind. You have a rolling pin. I'll take him out. Oh, the kill cam is so stupid, but I love it! And since I wasn't gonna need any other weapon than my sledgehammer, giving the Vault-Tec Rep a better weapon only seemed fitting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but Big Jim is always worth it. Big Jim ain't worth nothing, though. It's too small. I mean, I guess I could get Big Jim to... I just thought about something. Hold on. Wait. Here you go, homie. I'm not using it, so you might as well. Whip that thing out, dude. Let me see what you got. Bro, come on. Size up for the homies. Let's go. Alright, he's a little shy. He'll pull it out later, trust me. Look at him. He's just... He doesn't want to do it right now. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Whoa. Force a habit, force a habit. Everyone calm the fuck down. Kill him. Ooh! What the... What the fuck is going on?
That's the big kaboom, isn't it?
I mean, I'm glad you finally whipped it out, but like, what the fuck was that?
What's that noise?
Okay, well, I see where this is going, and you're kind of fixated on blood, so alright, well... Oh my god! Oh my god! What?! I hit him so hard he fucking oh, there he is. Okay, never mind. It's like he blinked out of fucking existence. Dude, what? Well, you're an orphan now. Good luck. Somehow, I lost the Vault Tech rep as I continued, but to make up for it, I found some Chinese soldiers and got a sweet new cape. I continued to the castle, and normally there's some Federation members there and a dead survivor trying to flee, but this time I actually found one alive. He asked me to help him out, and so I got to smack him. Okay, just stay right the fuck there. I got this, I got this. Trust me, they'll never know what happened. Trust me, they'll never know what happened. Proceeds to fucking die. Oh, okay, hold on, homie. I got you this time. Just wait a second. Oh, dear. God damn it, dude! They know these things! Playing as a Minuteman, surviving 1 minute at a time. Hey, as long as you're doing it, that's all that matters. Thank you! But it turns out that this was all just in my head, and those guys didn't actually need to die. Whoops. How was I supposed to know? With enough shenanigans, it was time to get this show on the road. I swam out to the FMS Columbia to kick in the door and grab my keys. But just because I had the means of ending the run, didn't mean that the Commonwealth was going to let me go that easy. What the fuck does that say? What the fuck is going on? Alright, well... okay. Okay! This guy's missing a fucking... Oh, hello! I'm so glad you waited on me to figure out what I was doing. You're probably gonna die, though. I mean, you're doing really good about this. Oh, well, you were doing really good about it anyway. Getting back on track, I ran straight to Kenmore Station and grabbed the key to Parsons. Alright, time for Parsons.
If I was to tell you something else, in Dragon, into functional, because it's just...
Really? Okay, it was him. Well, that was a blast. Now came getting lost in a maze and retracing my previous past lives, and to finish the run, I smacked Janice in the head and began my life in Far Harbor with the perfect send-off. Oh, okay, well that's one way to fucking end the case. And there you have it, another Frost run done. As far as overhauls go, this is one of my favorites, from combining the survival elements of the base game to the mystery and suspense that only a nuclear winter could bring. I've got a couple videos idea in the works at the moment, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything. Before we go, I want to give a massive shout out to the patrons over on Patreon and to the channel members on the channel. Thank you guys so much for your continued support as you allow me to keep making these videos. I want to thank everyone who came out to the streams and to you, the viewer. I hope you have an amazing day because you deserve it. As always, I've been Chris from Crisis Gaming, and I will see you on the next one.